Tuesday morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope you've had a great week so far. Busy Monday around House Onek with lots going on here and looking at some pretty good activity heading our way in the form of showers and thunderstorms possible for later on. You can see the display in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, the radar from Penn State University showing again showers and thunderstorms over the Oklahoma area, and that's going to be affecting our weather into the rest of the day. Coming up, we'll take a look at the possibility of more wet weather for the Mid-South, but not hot, as in blazing as per usual for this time of the year. And we'll also take a look at how you can get involved with helping your neighbors and your community stay safe by becoming a Skywarn volunteer. The next meetings have been posted by the National Weather Service, and we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. First of all, to radar, just to our west, looking back between the area around Little Rock and Memphis, I-40 through about here, and I-55 up that direction. And we're seeing from northeast Arkansas, Batesville, Newport, Heber Springs, heavy rainfall, some flash flood warnings back toward the Dardanelles and parts of the area around the Arkansas area sides for things up into parts of Kansas and Missouri. But right now, most of what we're looking at for right now is pretty quiet for the time being, at least here in our area of the Mid-South. We may be seeing the possibility of a lot more of these areas of activity coming on through, so prepare for that. Take the umbrella with you. Severe weather does not appear to be a main threat, but we'll take a look at that coming up as well in just a little bit. For the tropics, we do have, again, a little bit more going on. We do have a new tropical depression sitting just off the east coast. We'll talk about that in a minute. We've got a new disturbance about ready to launch out into the ocean. Looks like about a 30% chance from areas around Africa in the extreme right-hand corner of your screen. And then into the Caribbean, a new possibility of some higher development with a new storm system that has been chugging along in the Atlantic. That one looks to be less of a threat than what we've seen so far over the last couple of days. Currently, the storm system that is tropical depression number 15 is making its way out over the waters of the Atlantic as dawn begins to unfold on the East Coast area. And again, this is what we're going to be watching into the next couple of days as it works its way out and away from the continental United States. This does not appear to be a threat at this time. Anybody on the East Coast should keep an eye on the weather at this time, and if you're traveling that direction as well, something to pay attention to. Next storm system making its way through the areas of the Caribbean, and we're looking down into around this area right here. That is, again, the storm system that is possibly going to be a new tropical depression later today if it gains enough strength, but as of right now, it doesn't really look like too much. Trouble is, as we go throughout the next couple of days, as this goes across Central America, if it curves northward by just a little bit, heading into the Bay of Campeche, we might see some problems because of the fact that the waters in that area are very, very warm. Bathtub water, we're talking 85 degrees plus. What was left of Laura and Marco as it moved through that particular area of the Gulf cooled off the waters, so there's not quite as much available energy there, but down to around the Bay of Campeche, eastern Mexico, southern coast of Texas, there is still a decent amount of energy left over there, and that's something that we're going to have to watch as this system goes west. But as of right now, the really good news is that it doesn't appear to be heading toward the United States. One computer model there does seem to have a northeasterly trek almost going on, but the majority of the computer models are showing a trek right across very mountainous terrain, so that should hopefully help shred it and kind of cut it down to size by just a little bit. We do have, again, a slight risk of severe weather over portions of the Oklahoma area for this morning, but again, as you can see, for the Mid-South area, that light green color over all of us is indicative of just thunderstorms, not seeing anything in the way of any severe weather for now, but if that changes, stay tuned, and of course we'll keep you updated on that in the course of the next few days. Best possibility of thunderstorms, again, looks to be over areas from the Mid-South all the way back down into the hill country of Texas, central Texas, southern Oklahoma. Most of Arkansas could wind up. That red hatched area indicates the possibility of maybe some thunderstorms, possibly stronger, heavier rainfall in there as well. and that could be a real threat for the time being. We do have a possibility of fog this morning. Again, that gray area that you see, that's the possibility of dense fog from the National Weather Service in Memphis, and then strong, possibly severe thunderstorms along that line into portions of areas north of I-40. That could include Memphis and Shelby County, so definitely want to stay tuned on that. Main threat at this time is going to be the potential for heavy rainfall. Now, the Mid-South area not doing too bad, but a couple of inches of rain in the yellow to orange shaded categories, that could cause some decent flash flooding at times, but the heaviest activity right where we're seeing that heavier rainfall right now, possibility of 2 to 3 inches plus in those locations, so please keep an eye on that if you are going to be traveling through the rest of the day, and especially into tonight if things continue soggy out there. From the Weather Underground, looking again at the possibility of more showers and thunderstorms today, and highs back into the mid to upper 80s. Now, heat indexes again showing near 100 degrees. That's because the air out there is going to be super tropical. It is very soupy, plenty of moisture for those storms to form and draw on for fuel. But again, it's not going to be that hot as usual for the first day of September. So mid to upper 80s for highs today, mid 80s for highs tomorrow, with heat indexes again easily going into the 90s because of all that humidity in the air. And until we clear that out, it's going to be pretty steamy around here, which means it's going to be very hard to work outside for very long periods of time. And those chances of thunderstorms continue right on into Friday, but with highs going back into about the mid to upper 70s to lower 80s, so not as oppressive as we could be. The holiday weekend coming up, plenty of sunshine, drier conditions, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, and that includes for the holiday on Monday with temperatures back in the lower to mid 80s. Heat indexes does not look to be that much of an issue, and humidity looks to be a lot less. So if you're planning on getting the grill out for one more grill before summer technically comes to an end, it's looking pretty good right now for Labor Day as we head into next week. So definitely some good news about that. If you'd like to become a Skywarn spotter, becoming the eyes, ears, and brains of the National Weather Service out in the field, you know what to look for. You know what to call back into the National Weather Service because you've been trained on this. The next meetings have been scheduled by the National Weather Service for various counties in and around the area. Now, because of the pandemic, they cannot be in person. And again, very, very wise decision from the National Weather Service on this. But if your county is listed here, all you have to do is go to weather.gov, click on the Mid-South, and you'll get to this page about spotter training schedules. And again, Hardin, Decatur, Chickasaw counties all listed there. Shelby County not listed just yet, but this is a preliminary list. It's a good possibility we'll be seeing more of these meetings added on. You'll learn what to look for when severe weather hits, what to call back to the National Weather Service, again, how to keep yourself safe. This is a storm spotter course. This is not a chase course. If you want to learn how to chase storms, you got to learn from experts, and you do not do it until you're an expert yourself. Period. End of sentence. Amateur storm chasing is a very good way to get you or someone else hurt or killed. So please do not chase storms until you are ready to do so. We've said again that the National Weather Service has been calling off these things due to the pandemic. Again, if everybody wears their masks, social distances, and does a good job of making certain that you avoid crowds, avoid transmission of the virus, we will get through this. It's the science of it, and if you see anybody who's violating the Shelby County health directives, you can call the Shelby County Mayor's Action Line at 222-2300. You can call the City of Memphis 311 information line, or you can call the Shelby County Health Department direct on their information page right there, and you can find them on Twitter at ShelbyTN Health if you'd like to know more. Plus, if you'd like to see what the latest status is, coming up today at noon, the Joint COVID Task Force will be holding their Tuesday press briefing from the WYPL studios, and you can listen in as the local officials and also from the health department begin to give you updates on what's going on. Now, the good news is we're starting to see a reduction in infections, but that's only because we are masking up, closing bars and restaurants in some locations, and helping to, again, reduce the spread. If we let go of that now and let everybody get out into the wild, It's going to be very difficult to contain that once again. So again, we've got to keep the pressure on if we want to get back to normal, whatever that's going to be. So please keep that in mind if you're going to be doing that in the next few days. Mask up, be careful, social distance, all the usual stuff right there. Today is September 1st, and that it means it is autumn. Technically, it's not astronomical autumn, it is meteorological autumn. It means that the months together where the transitions happen between one season to another, which again, the first day of fall, the astronomical fall, comes in on September 22nd this year. Today is the start of meteorological autumn. That means that, again, we're going to be seeing the changes taking place as we go through the next few days. That's how the National Weather Service and meteorologists around the world divide up their seasons. It doesn't happen on the astronomical date, happens on meteorological autumn, which is in fact today. So happy autumn if you didn't know about that. If you'd like to know more about all this stuff, drop by my social media website pages, and we'll keep you advised on all that and throw in a whole bunch of extra neat little stuff as well. We'll have our hands full again with showers and thunderstorms today. And we'll be looking again for some fairly warm conditions throughout the course of the next few days. But fortunately, we catch a bit of a break, so some good news there. Currently, just past 7 o'clock, sun's coming up, a few clouds out there, and rain and thunderstorms on the way for parts of the Mid-South, so take that umbrella with you. I'm meteorologist Austen Onek. You've been watching Weather from Oz. Catch me on all my social media networks as we keep you informed as to what's going on throughout the rest of the Mid-South. Thanks for joining us, and have a safe Tuesday.